Hi, everyone. Happy November. Today what I'm going to do and what we're going to do together is, because I love your feedback and the conversations and the kudos to the people who are doing an amazing job that sent in their before and afters and were brave enough to let me put them on the screen. What we're going to do is I'm going to go over all of those kind of key areas that make us look tired and aged, and then what we can do to change that to have that timeless beauty. So there are very specific things that are not addressed with skincare alone. So I want to make sure that we cover those. And then I'm going to do that by showing photos, and then we're going to go over some of the before and afters. Someone sent in, well, pretty much all before and afters. Some of them are super early in the game, which is I always love to see. And then I'll make sure that I'm answering questions. And then the areas that I'm pointing out that make a big difference is the areas that I'll also show you with the tool, with the wand, how to get the best results out of that in those really those areas. Okay. All right, so what I wanted to do with this particular image is, this is Darla, and Darla did the protocol on one side of her face for 2 weeks. Now, Darla at the time had fillers and also Botox. So this is really kind of a great example to be able to show the difference between what you're going to get if you actually do, if you're doing something natural versus doing like the Botox and fillers. And a lot of times people are on with me with True Energy for many, many reasons. They just want to restore some health, some beauty, some vitality to their skin and their cells and their face, as well as their body, or because they want to maybe kick the habit of the Botox because they don't want to continue using that, or maybe because they're considering a little nip and tuck and really want to try to avoid that. Or we really are just sometimes just being super proactive in the sense of, what do I need to do today so I don't look like my mother or grandmother when I get older. So this particular photo, what I'm going to talk about is a few things. One is that natural beauty or timeless beauty has to do with more than just our skin and our skin tone. It has to do with the shape of the face, as well as those little telltale signs of aging. So in this one, the primary thing is the shape of the face. You can see, if you were to draw a line across the bridge of her nose and the arches of her cheeks, you can see that on the side that she did for 2 weeks, that she has more of an angle down to her chin, and on the side that she did not do, she's got more of a square jaw. So a youthful is broader across the nose, across the bridge of the cheekbones, and then tapering or narrowing down to the chin. The obvious is that even with the Botox, she's getting more of a lift with her eyebrow than with the side that hasn't been treated. And this is actually really significant because Botox is designed to relax a muscle. So even though she'll get a lot of smoothness in her forehead, she won't get the same pop that she's going to get by using the True Energy. The difference right here, as far as is between the eyebrows, where you can really see the lengthening between, if you go from the inside corner of each eyebrow. This is actually that corrugator muscle is actually where the eyelid gets pulled down, and I'll show you the next slide that really emphasizes that. But the key part here is that even with the 2 week side, you can see she's got a beautiful apple right at the top of her cheek, and on the other side she's a little bit flatter, as well as you can see the line from the corner of her nose to the corner of her mouth that's a little bit more of a fold rather than just a crease from an apple pop. Okay, so the next photo, this is what I wanted to point out with this one, which is that vitality, the fatigue. So in the before photo above, the difference is not just the eyebrows. Clearly the eyebrows are really popped, But what makes a difference is that the refatting in the eyelid itself. So the upper eyelid just below the eyebrow can often sit on the upper eyelid, but the difference is how full is that and how heavy is it? So you can see on the after that clearly she's got like a lot more vitality, but look at the outside corner of both of the eyes and see how her eyes look like they're going downwards. This is really significant in that fatigue, that tired look. So on the bottom one where she looks, with this super vitality, it's because her eye is more open, the eyelid is lifted off the corner of the eye. So I'll continue on some, that path in showing the difference between, what makes a difference in the protocol as well as I move forward. So let's go ahead to some before and afters on some people who are doing an amazing job. Let's talk about what we see that we think where we're not getting results because we're actually getting repair. So I actually had a little reminder this morning for me to talk about that, as well as I've had some questions. So this is the thing is that, and this goes back to why they're treatment and not a cream. So skin is, to me, is either healthy and repaired and vital, or it's damaged in losing its vitality and shows symptoms, right? So the symptoms can be rosacea. It can be like a vascular, like where we have vein lines along our face that are like look like broken vessels. Sometimes we can actually have lesions, not like an open sore lesion, but lesions where we have a really uneven skin and look super, super sensitive. And dryness, right? Sometimes flaking. So what happens when we have, and I'm going to hit a few different areas. What happens when we have dead skin cell buildup and we start using the product is that our skin can actually look like it's flaky or drying. And the reason why is because we're not getting through that dead skin buildup. And this is actually where I this morning I had Cindy tell her story because it was so significant in the exactly why the scrub makes a huge difference. So Cindy, would you mind? Is you there?
To admit it, but I've been in the beauty business for well over 40 some odd years. But when it came to True Energy, when I first started with Kathy, I had just gotten done working in the corporate world and I was wearing makeup at the time. And I started using True Energy, but I was having issues with if I did it without the foundation, then the creams and stuff would roll off. If I had the foundation on, it would all roll off. And I said, I just don't think this is working for me, Kathy. And she said, well, this is what you need to do. You've got a lot of dead skin cells, so I'm going to have you use the scrub 4 or 5 times, every 4 or 5 days in a row, and then see how that works. I was amazed. I mean, I really was. I was truly amazed. It not only got rid of all of the dead skin cells so that everything would absorb, but my face just felt so much better. The texture was wonderful after that. So, and I was not always, even though I was in the hair and beauty business, I was not always using scrub. I was kind of skeptical of it, but this kind of taught me a lesson on that one.
Right. And then one of the other things that was hugely different for a lot of people, including myself, is that I haven't worn makeup on a daily basis. I barely wear makeup if I'm going out, with my husband, barely wear makeup. But I have not worn makeup for years on my skin. So, and I especially make sure that I don't wear makeup when I come to these webinars because I want y'all to really, see, our faces, right? So, eyeliner, but nothing on my skin. So, and that's what Cindy was saying as well, is that, she wouldn't go out of the house without, full makeup on and she doesn't wear foundation at all anymore. So when you can look in the mirror, look in the mirror and consider, my skin looks really even. It looks really great. I'm not putting on makeup today. And I think that when we don't put on makeup, it gives our skin a chance to breathe. When you think about it, if you put on makeup every morning and you're putting on, things that are clogging your pores, that's a full part of our day with something over our skin and our pores that are potentially clogging the pores. So I'm a fan of definitely clean is good. Let's talk about how long the product should last, because one of the things that, Cindy and I talk about a lot is that the scrub, if you aren't using enough, you're not getting enough beads per square inch, right? It uses perfectly round jojoba beads. Those jojoba beads are not going to scratch the surface of your skin and cause damage, because I'm really big on that, is that if something is harsh and scratches your skin, eventually your skin has to resist that, and micro scarring, which decreases your elastin, is what happens. So sensitive skin like the face, the jojoba beads, perfectly round, they're enough to really work through the pores, but don't scratch the surface of the skin. So this jar is enough to use 1 teaspoon 2 times per week and still last 60 days. Now, a teaspoon it's like, well, how much is a teaspoon? But the reality of it is when I do a scoop, it's a lot on my hands, because I have enough to put on my forehead, my cheeks, around my nose, my mouth, my neck, and my chest, right? And then the important thing is as well, when you're using that, is you want to make sure that you're getting in some of the areas that people tend to miss, right in front of the ears and the earlobes, and then also around the mouth, for sure. And then the other areas you actually will notice when you, like eyebrows, but the other areas you'll actually notice is that when you're using the cleanser, and you've got water cleanser and you're cleansing your face, you'll notice the rough spots. So sometimes it's like right here, and you'll think, oh, when I'm using my scrub, I need to pay attention to here. Sometimes it'll be here. And you'll know next time you're using the scrubs, I need to pay attention to that. So you'll notice where you have places where like a little bit of dead skin buildup. But the cleanser also has the natural fruit enzymes that help to break down the dead skin cell barriers gently over time, because you're using it twice a day. So that's huge, right? The other is that when you first start, you may find that you're only getting like 30 days out of the products, because your skin is just, I love this, and soaking it up and crazy for it. But as your skin repairs, you'll be able to stretch that to the 60 days, and you'll know you're using too much because you won't know what to do with the extra on your hands. So making sure that you give your skin what it needs in the beginning will pay off in the end. So it's kind of like, don't drink half the glass of water, drink the whole thing, because you're going to be more hydrated. My recommendation when it comes to a product line is to use the full product line, because it usually has a theme. And if it doesn't, I think it should, because I want it to be doing something for every step of the way. So for example, my scrub and cleanser, the True Energy Scrub and Cleanser, is hydrating. And all of the products have the oleosome technology, which is making sure that your moisture, your repair, your vitamins and minerals are being delivered to the cell where the cell needs it, not just on the surface of the skin. So some of y'all have heard me talk about the oleosome technology. It really has to do with holding those nutrients in a seed and delivering it deeper into the deeper layers, so the cells can so that oleosome opens up and allows the cell to utilize the nutrients, the active ingredients that the True Energy has. So even the scrub and the cleanser have that hydrating. It also has the oleosome technology. And then through the whole line, I use oleosome technology and that multiple layer effect, where I don't want to just affect one layer of the skin. I want to affect multiple layers of the skin. So that's about product, active ingredients, and what it targets. So for example, with collagen, you can't put collagen on the skin. Your body well, one, it tends to be too large of a molecule that your body can't absorb it or utilize it or do anything with it. What's important is that functional skincare, which means that I'm giving your cells and skin the ingredients that give your body information to actually produce the collagen. Rather than trying to give your body collagen, I want your cells to start performing like youthful cells. And I'm giving them the nutrients to start producing those youthful cells. So that's also kind of a theme throughout the full product as well.